Hey, black folks, do you know every time you think white folks did you wrong, you buy a ticket to hell? Hey, white folks, do you know every time you said black folks complain too much, you are punching your ticket to purgatory? Hey, couples, do you know every time you think your lover has done you wrong, you are actually in hell? What? For sure I know when somebody did me wrong. Maybe so. But at what price? Join us as we investigate the need, and I emphasize need, to have complaints. This is Who or What Am I?
Who am I?
Who am I?
Who? Our purpose is to awaken.
Who am I?
To awaken to absolute truth.
Am I?
Who am I? Who?
Our purpose is to awaken to absolute truth.
Absolute.
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 Absolute truth.
Our purpose is to awaken. Are they one and the same? Absolute and truth. That's our purpose.
Who am I?
Well. How about with that teaser, y'all? Did that wake you up? Okay. Yeah, I mean, we all know about, complaints, okay? I mean, Archibald, you were just saying about somebody in your family who, always had a complaint. Even if you ask them, is the sun shining? They will find something wrong with the sun shining or whatever, okay? So that's what we want to look at, and we want to get to the source of complaints. Now, all of us were raised probably in the church. I know some of us weren't. But, there was this God, Jehovah, okay? And he had this garden, and so forth. And then, he told them not to eat the fruit of that tree. And when he did that and they didn't do it, okay, he had a complaint, right? He said, he called it a sin, that they sinned, but he saw that something was wrong and he didn't like it. So was God the first complainer? Okay, Jehovah or Allah, whatever his name. So we want to get to this source of this whole thing called complaint. And, what is it about and how is it possible for you to not complain? Yeah, Gloria, you gonna complain? You? No.
Let's see. I don't know if I can go a minute without complaining, but I'll try. So if we look at the source of our identity, which I think this show is all about, is getting to the source of who I am. So if we look at the source of human identity, then we have to keep a complaint in place, because the one of the bases that we've all agreed on, I think we've all agreed on, is that lack is one of the identifiers of human.
Okay.
So that lack is the source of a complaint.
Okay.
But if we look at the identity of God, then there can be no complaint, because everything it's all complete, whole, one. So what would there be to complain about, and who would you complain to?
Well, wait a minute. The Bible says that God complained. Matter of fact, he's going to come back again, or send his son back again, because he has a complaint,
Well, that's the definition of a God that we are not identifying with.
Oh, okay. So that God is not complete.
Correct.
Okay. But you're saying now human, Gloria, Allen, Donald Trump, whoever, okay,
God in the Bible.
Has something called I don't have. And it's not only that I don't have, somebody's at fault.
Right.
Okay? Somebody is the cause of me not having something. All right? And so now I got to look and see who's the cause of it. All right? And it's got to make sense to me. I just can't say this piece of chalk, is the cause of my, complaint. It has to make sense to me. So I got to say somebody is the cause of me not having something. All right? But it ain't me. Okay? I don't want it to be me. All right? So I'd rather have it out there. See, now this is where the human mind has to operate. It has to have something out there that I find that is the source of my complaint, my misery, my pain, or whatever. Something that I said I should have, but I don't. All right? I don't have it. I think I should have it. I deserve it. Like, Jehovah thought he deserved obedience. Okay? He made that nice little garden and everything and gave them, hey, I give you everything. Can't I just get just one thing?
Is there any way that there can be an internal source so that in fact you may not be aware of it, but you are the problem?
Ah, me? John, you know me all my life. I'm never the source of the, yeah. I mean, yeah, well, see, this is it. See, if I think, like old Descartes said, I will think that I'm a human. All right? And all humans, as Gloria was just saying, got something called I don't have. Now, I don't want to look and see where I am the source of it. Because, see, what is hooked onto that, Joan, is guilt. Okay? And so, do I want to feel guilt? Or would I rather for you to feel guilt? Joan, daddy, favored you over me. Okay? So, I would say, my feeling less than is your fault. Okay? It's not my fault. And so I say, you're the one, you're always causing the problem. All right? So it's easier, it's safety, it's a safer way for me. See, unless you understand this psychological mechanism, and it's all psychological, unless you understand projection, okay? It's what I have within, and I place it out there. The Grand Dragon of the Ku Klux Klan says, black folks, you are wrong or inferior or less than or whatever. What is he talking about? I heard Donald Trump this weekend called Comey a slime ball. Now, I mean, I don't want to get, well, I will get political. But I mean, if Donald Trump doesn't look within and see where he may be a slime ball, then he's projecting it out on the Comey.
So is the issue really the belief in separation?
Yes, always. That's the only issue you have, I have, Jesus had. Jesus had that issue on the cross. My Father, why hast thou forsaken me? He thought he was separate from his God, okay? And it's kind of interesting. The other thing he did, supposedly, we don't know what Jesus did on that cross, okay? But, let's go with the Bible, where it says, okay? Supposedly he said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Now, he was still thinking he was separate from those people who, I guess, who were looking at him on the cross, because he was identifying with a body, all right? And that is the basis of human thought, is that I am a body, all right? And that I was born, that I will die, okay? That this body is who I am, okay? And so, yeah, when I identify with a body, I will say I'm separate. I was separate from Ruth Carter, my mother. I have a navel that connected this body to her body, okay? But when Dr. Donaldson, right, Joan, cut the cord, okay, that separated me from my mother, okay? And so I say I'm separate from my source, my mother. And that's our only problem, is that we think we're separate from a source. How come you don't think you're the source?
What if I have a complaint? I felt that someone wronged me.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I forgave them. Oh, I forgave them. With the inside, I just forgave. However, I feel like this person continues to the same act that I felt that they wronged me with.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the cutoff point? Is it a point where I just, where you go from there? If you feel like the act keep happening,
Yeah.
is it inside? Is it just inside my human understanding, or is it something that's actually I need to address so it'll stop?
Yeah, always. See, you're getting into the human mind has to take you to, what do I do? And he likes to take you there first. You know, like you're saying, what do I do about this person who keeps messing over me? You know, and I know I'm a good Christian, a good Muslim. I forgave him. I didn't forget, okay? But I forgave him, all right? But I will remember it, all right? You doggone right. And mama didn't raise no fool, okay? So you better not do that again. Otherwise, you know, buddy, I got you on my list, okay? So, yeah, that's kind of how we think. Now, that's the doing part. Actually, it's all about you. Every action is about what are you aware of. You know, are you saying, now, let's say, take you and I are black men.
Okay.
And that's a big issue now, the thing about, you know, black men, and you know, we saw what happened in Starbucks and stuff, okay? Now, Joan and I grew up in Jim Crow, Alabama. We went to segregated schools and all that kind of stuff, okay? Now, I can say something called, how often do you forgive? Now, supposedly Jesus says 70 times 7, I think, in the Bible or something like that. I mean, he really wasn't making a number. It was really about always. Every 24/7, it should be about, you can't hurt me. You have never hurt me. If I'm black, with the Grand Dragon of the Clan, you know, do I allow him to say, oh, put the rope right here, please? You know, there's a good tree. Why don't you let me swing from it? Of course not. Now, that's the doing part. Or if I'm Miss Rosa Parks, I will not go to the back of the bus. That's the doing part. But it's always about my consciousness, my awareness. Am I realizing, and this is all what Jesus was doing on that cross when he said, Father, forgive them. It wasn't like he was talking to a God out there trying to persuade him. Jesus was trying to go to his source within, his true identity, and realize that those people who he thought were out there, that at the first stage he was thinking they are really just programs. They are puppets. They are being controlled, okay, by the puppeteer, okay? And so he had to realize they're not guilty. They were just doing what they're programmed to do. The Grand Dragon of the Clan is just doing what he's programmed to do. He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know that he's a program, okay? And so I have to realize, to get to the source, it's always about me saying, this is not the reality. This isn't the real, okay? If I hold him like he is, the dirty son of a whatever, okay, then I'm caught in my judgments, okay? I'm saying I am better than him because I'm better than the Grand Dragon of the Clan. Well, of course I think that. Now I'm caught in better than, less than.
So we would just ignore it?
No. You don't ignore. I mean, like I say, if you miss Rosa Parks, you don't go to the back of the bus or whatever. I mean, you do whatever you think you need to do because that's a program too, okay? But, you probably, if you miss Rosa Parks, you will sit in the front of the bus and not go to the back, all right? Or whatever. But it's about, what are you aware of? Are you aware? Are you conscious that this is a dream? That everybody, it's kind of like, like we say in the intro, awaken, okay? When you are awake, you realize that all of this that appears, I underline the word appears to be happening, is just a dream. And it looks like you're doing something. But really, you're not. I know that sounds crazy, okay? You're not really doing it, okay? So, you have really, it's like two consciousness. There's one called everything is perfect. Now, your human mind cannot get that. Because I look at Donald Trump and I say, yeah, okay? Or I look at Hitler, I go, yeah. At that level, yes, Hitler, fight Hitler, okay? Or whatever, you're going to do, if that's what it is for you to do, okay? However, know that there's no difference between Hitler and this, okay? No difference between Greg and this. No difference between Alan and this, okay? That Alan thinks he has power to do something. I have much power as this puppet. Alan Carter does, okay? Or any human, okay? And the human mind says, crapola.
Humans created God?
The God concept.
God concept. Or whatever we were going to call God. We had to have God. But if we're applying the programs of, well, not programs, but we deal with the lack and all, and make that part of God's identity, then didn't we create the whole problem?
Yeah, at the level called, there's a problem. Okay, that it looks like, because all can't exclude anything. Okay, so at the, it's like when you're dreaming about Beyonce, okay, at night. Is that okay? All right. Yeah, and then Jay-Z comes in. Okay, so it looks like you got a problem. Okay. Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
And so the thing is, but who created it? Well, you were lying in the bed, okay, and then you had some projections in your mind called Beyonce, called Archibald, and a Jay-Z. All right? And so they all look like they were occurring, okay? But did they really? That was a dream. That's what this is. So in that dream, there appeared to be lack. Jay-Z was going to go up beside your head or something or whatever, okay? So it appeared that, you found Beyonce sexually attractive. There was a lack there, okay, or whatever, okay? But all of that was for the dream play to go on. But there was no reality to it, no truth to it, okay?
Well, is humans' desire or need to have a God the same kind of thing?
Yes. The need to have a God is just the same as the need to have a devil. If you're going to have a God, you're going to have a devil. Because if you have right, you got to have wrong. If you have good, you got to have bad. To have something called drama.
Right.
Okay, to have a story called a life story, you got to have this against a that. Okay, a protagonist and antagonist. Okay, counterforces.
You said, and I had trying to find in the Bible myself, that Jesus said when he was on the cross, the Father and I are one and the same. That's a profound statement.
Yes.
But I'm just wondering how he got that terminology, if it did, even if it was a Jesus somewhere up on the cross. What was that statement meant for humanity if they hung on to that?
Okay.
One and the same.
Yeah, the
Because
key
that's
word-
what we're getting here.
Yeah, the key word there is I. See, that's why he said, I and the Father. I and God. Okay? Call it Father, call it whatever you want. But that I, that is the source, not the Jesus I, not the human I. Okay? And see, that's man's only problem is they think I belongs to a human, a mind and a body in time and space. But he was going to that I am the way, the truth, and the light. Okay? I am. Okay? So unless you investigate I, you will get trapped in human thinking. Okay? There's only one I. Do you know another I? You call yourself I, but you call me you. And I call you you, and I call me I. I only know one I, because there's only one I. And I means that I am aware of existence. That's what I means. Okay? So when Jesus was getting there, he was trying to divorce himself from this Jesus identity, a human who was a son of Mary and Joseph and Jewish and all that stuff he could put on a resume, okay, like we can, okay? He was trying to say, I am none of this. I am the eternal presence, the infinite presence, which you can call God, or you can call it whatever you want. It doesn't need a name, okay? Why would God need a name, okay, to differentiate him from Satan? I have the name, Joan and I have the same last name. But Joan has the name Joan, and I have the name Alan, or Billy, okay? So, that's to differentiate us, okay? So why would infinity need to be differentiated from anything? It can't be, if it's all. So, you don't need to know the name of God. God doesn't have a name.
So what you're saying then is that complaints are not justified.
Right.
Because complaints are always coming from a dualistic identity, not from a non-dualistic identity. Would you agree with this, that I am eternal and perfect? Would you agree with that?
Sure.
Okay. If anybody doesn't,
Not Leonard, though.
no, I am.
I am.
Y'all disagree with that, see Dr. Carter.
I got fees I can charge you too in my office.
Exactly. So with that being that we consider that to be the source identity, that I am eternal and perfect, then we would have to find a way to have an experience that would make that knowable for us. And that's where the conundrum is, because these are concepts. These are ideas that we could either believe or not believe. And that's still fitting us back into the human and personal identity of dualism. So that's a subject and object. But what is eternal does not have a subject and an object present in it. So what's eternal and perfect would have to be present or omniscient or omnipresent and complete all the time. There's never a gap. So we're talking about something that's timeless, and then we're trying to actually make time give it some kind of consideration. That's impossible.
Right.
Right? So the true experience, and that I could say I've had personally in my life, is that my experience is that eternity is free of conflict, and that all was there was love. And so, where was the complaint coming from? It had to be coming from Leonard's identity if I was to go there. But if I recognized who I truly am, then I would have no problem with whatever happens. And so we're at that place, at that precipice of whether or not we're going to give up beliefs or we're going to deal with eternity. And to me, which one would you rather have?
Yeah, that's Jesus on the cross in the Garden of Gethsemane. I think you always capsulate things very well, Leonard. And that's are you ready? I mean, see, this mind ain't ever gonna give it up. All right, no way, Jose. That so I'm not gonna do it.
No, I know the mind's not going to give it up.
Right.
So just trying to find peace in the situation. Can you find peace in the mind with the situation?
You can slow down the mind. Okay, you can meditate, do a lot of procedures, but that final step, God has to take. Meaning, like I said, that you can't commit suicide. Okay, it's kind of like, can darkness ever get into light? No. Okay, because darkness is the absence of light. So all of us are in darkness. Okay, and we think it's light though. All right, we think this is the real. All right, we think this is reality. None of this is real. Okay, as real as Archibald being with Beyonce and Jay-Z. Okay, in my example earlier. And so, to wake up, all right, you have to think that you were asleep. But you never were asleep, because there can never be a separation, as Lydia was saying, from infinity. You just think, and this thinking little mind, which is so afraid that it will be discovered. Okay, it's like the Wizard of Oz. It is, just got us fooled that it is powerful. It isn't.
This is a piggyback off of Greg's statement regarding peace, and I see this conflict here. Is there a way to be happy and still have complaints?
No. Or if you do, they're not worth anything.
Well, I think even to look at, is it possible to be happy It's like be happening. Happy.
English.
It's like, what is the source of God's identity? Happiness is a descriptor of God's identity.
Okay.
So it's being happy. Being happy is being God, being spirit, being light. So therefore, a complaint doesn't even show up.
Yeah. And see, you got to get clear on what happiness is. Happiness is not an emotion. I mean, you want to be a comedian. So you want people to laugh, and they'll laugh sometimes, other times they go, oh, whatever, okay? But, you want people to smile, and it's emotionally based type of reaction to your jokes, okay? But that's just human stuff. That's not happiness. I mean, you can take drugs and get happy. Alcohol is a depressant, but, initially, it's an upper, okay? So the thing is, that's varies. You want something that doesn't vary, that is eternal. And that happiness that doesn't, you can call it bliss, all right? I prefer the word bliss because it doesn't connote an emotion. But it is, that which is totally satisfied, not missing anything.
To give up that I am this, and to know that I am that, which doesn't have a name, title, or anything. You could say God, or just even one that says I am that I am. I chanted that once, and then some darkness came in and took away the light. But when I'm not attached to this body with the title on it and what it does, I'm free.
Yes, and when you're not attached only to the body, but the mind.
Right.
Okay, the mind that says you are of evil. I am, whatever it says after that. I am Alan Carter. I'm a black man. I'm a psychologist or whatever. All those things I put out there. I am. Okay, and see, that's what holds me back. I am has no attachment. It has nothing that it needs to hold on to because it's infinite. And what can infinity hold on to? Okay. All right. So we're gonna have to stop right here. And I'm not gonna complain about it. Okay. Okay. That look and see where you're dissatisfied and what's the source of it, and see how your mind works to probably keep you dissatisfied. Even when I put it out there, it's all Archibald's fault, or it's all Donald Trump's fault. Well, maybe. Anyway, but seriously, when just notice how you put it out there, and notice how that keeps you stuck. Keep looking within. Keep asking, who or what is this I that has these thoughts, these beliefs? Thank you.